It is about the opening film, Beyond the Clouds, directed by Majid Majidi. It is a heartwarming celebration of human relationships centered around the life of a young brother and sister from Mumbai. We have on stage Ishan Khattar, actor, Malvika Mohanan, actor, Reza, executive producer, Mr. Majid Majidi, director, Shireen Mantri, producer, Nama Pictures, Sujay Kutti, producer, Z Studios, Kishore Arora, producer, Namo Pictures. Yesterday, Mr. Shah Rukh Khan said, "This festival is about stories." I now hand over to director Majid Majidi, an institution in world cinema, to talk about his story. The story that weaves magic with visuals, that elicits emotion from every cinematic frame.
سلام عرض میکنم خدمت خانم آقایون. خیلی خوشحالیم که به هر حال اولین نمایش فیلم در هند در اینجا شده بوده و امیدوارم که گفتگوی خوبی داشته باشه. من در خدمت شما هستم، سوالی باشه پاسخی باشه.
First, I salute everybody. I'm very happy that I'm here for the first release of the film in India. It was a pleasure to see the film with Indian audiences and hope we can have a good discussion together today.
First, the people on stage will speak, and then we will hand over the floor for questions. And please keep your questions brief and to the point, because we have another press conference, Canada Focus, coming up at 1 o'clock.
خب به طور طبیعی اینکه من چرا اومدم در هند فیلم ساختم شاید برای خیلی دوستان سوال باشه. خب از اونجایی که برای ما فرهنگ مشترکی داریم، سالیان سال بود که به فکر این بودم که فیلم در هند بسازم و فکر می‌کردم که اینجا سازمان مشترک اصلاحات همونجور که قرار بکنم من هند با سیدان ساختگی
So maybe this is the question of the audiences, that why I have made the film in India. So, you know, because of it, from years ago, it was my dream to work in India, the land of, because India is very deep in culture, and so because of the similarities between Iran and India, it was my always dream to work in this mysterious land, in a country, the famous and remarkable director like Satyajit Ray, and so I'm very happy for that.
به هر حال خب این فرصت پیش اومد با کمپانی جوانی به هر حال نماها دوستان من بودن و به هر حال یک ایده ای رو متمرکز شدیم و به هر حال حاصلش هم همین فیلم بود که دیشب دیدید.
Fortunately, I had a chance to be acquainted with Namaha, my good friends on the production side, and so we had a very good collaboration at the end. So you saw Beyond the Cloud, it was the result of all the efforts that we made.
دوست دارم در حال دوستان سوال بکنن که برای توجه به وقت کمی که داریم بتونیم در واقع با دوستان
So for the sake of time, so you can start your questions in order to have the time to talk to each other.
Yes, please raise your hands and identify your name and your organization before asking the question.
Hi, I'm Leslie from Cinestan.com. I would like to ask you, why did you choose newcomers in your film?
خب اگر که در واقع سینمای من رو دنبال کرده باشین، معمولا قهرمانای قصه‌ام رو از تو خود مردم و جامعه انتخاب میکنم.
If you have seen my previous films, usually I choose my heroes from the people.
برای اینکه به هر حال به اون شکل رئالیتی فیلم خیلی نزدیک باشه، حس خیلی واقعی باشه. ترجیح هم اینه که به هر حال از نوازیگرا استفاده بکنم، کسایی که تجربه‌ای اولشون، البته به این معنی نیست که از هنرپیشه‌های حرفه‌ای استفاده نکنم. جایی هم که ضرورت باشه حتما این کار رو خواهم کرد.
Just to convey the real feelings, so usually I welcome the new faces, but it doesn't mean that I'm not interested in the professional ones, and so because depends on the project, maybe we have this possibility as well to have also well-known people on board.
و یه مشکل خیلی بزرگی هم که به هر حال وجود داشت، اونجایی که من می‌خواستم لوکیشن‌های فیلم من تو فضای واقعی بمبئی باشه، دوست داشتم برم تو ست کار بکنم. حضور تو هند به هر حال سوپر استار تو فضای طبیعی خب واقعا خیلی خیلی مشکل بزرگیه. من یادمه که با خانم دپیکا اومدنش برای یه تستی، واقعا برای یه تست اولیه که می‌خواستیم فقط تو اون فضا ببینم چجوری میشه، با کلی مشکل مواجه شدم.
So another problem is usually, since I would like to work in different places, specifically in Mumbai, it was very difficult to organize the sets with the superstars. For example, even one day we organized the audition with Mrs. Deepika. I remember it was very, very difficult to manage because Mrs. Deepika, and so it was very difficult to manage the set because people wants to meet and very curious. It is another reason.
Sir, here, Ajay from here. Yeah, Ajay from Travel to Films.com. How did the cinematographer Anil Mehta came on board? Did you look at his previous works from Lagan to various body of works? And on what criteria you chose him? He has done brilliant work. Yeah, thank you.
به هر حال من دوست داشتم که همونجوری که دیدیم به هر حال من همه عوامل فیلمم رو از هند انتخاب کردم.
As you saw, I have chosen all my credits from India.
برای اینکه به هر حال با فضاها آشنا بودن و موقعیت‌ها رو بهتر می‌شناختن.
As they were aware about the country, and so they could understand the circumstances and situations better.
و به طور طبیعی به هر حال آثارشون دیدم، کاراشون دیدم و تو فیلمبردارها البته فیلمبردارای خیلی خوبی وجود داشت در هند، ولی خب آنیل رو بیشتر دیدم که برای کار من بهتر هستش و ازشون دعوت کردم برای کار.
So I started to see all the works, and then I found actually Anil is very close to the style that I would like to take for this project.
My question is very short. Have you oriented your style?
Excuse me, your name and your organization, please.
It will take time. Question is important. Not even the mic. Have you oriented your style a bit towards the Indian audience? For example, there is some overacting, melodrama, and too much of dialogue, which is somewhat different from your original style, which is subtlety. Subtlety. So, there is one dialogue. The heroine, we can say, she says, "I don't want to be here or die here." That is in the jail. So there is a repetition of that dialogue many times, which is representative of Indian films. So that's my question: whether you had to orient your style towards the country where you made the film.
من شاید خیلی متوجه سوال ایشون نشدم، ولی به هر حال من فکر می‌کنم که هم جالب در ادامه هم فیلمسازی قبلی که داشتم، مثل دارا، مثل بچه آسمان، مثل آواز گنجشگاه، می‌کنم که در همون انتهای همون مسیر و پرداختن به موضوع انسان و خانواده و ارزش‌های انسان.
I could not understand very well your question, but I think that this also Beyond the Clothes, it's in the same storyline of my previous films, and so respecting the human values, family, and so it's like my other previous films, so in the continuity of the style and also in the content.
Hello. Yeah, right here to your right. Hi, Russell here from Movie Fight. First of all, I would like to congratulate Majid sir, Ishan, Malvika on a really well-made film. My question is to you, Ishan. You're being a star son. Usually they go now. You're going to be launched in Dhadak, but usually they go the Bollywood way with a big launch. But you have gone with Majid sir's film, which is an international film, but the kind of film that we usually don't see star sons, star daughters getting launched in. It's a bit artsy, though it is really nice. So what made you choose this film as your first film?
Thank you for the question. First of all, my sincerest apologies for being a little late. I'm sorry about that. We had a bike breakdown on the way here. To answer your question, sir, would you mind if I asked you a question myself? Would you define star son for me, please?
Star son is somebody who comes from a family. Star son is somebody who comes from a family of actors who already. Nilima, Azim ji, your mother has already been in the industry. Pankaj sir, Rajesh Khattar, who are all part of your family, they've been in the industry. Shahid Kapoor is a big star. So obviously, when you are coming from that lineage, it's a star son.
All right, okay. Well, honestly, for me, it wasn't much of a decision to make. It was really a no-brainer because an opportunity like this seldom comes to an actor.
Do you mind if I speak without this? It's not a very...
Your voice is audible.
Oh, it is? All right. Okay. Can you hear me?
I clearly, loud and clear.
Sorry. Well, I saw the opportunity for this. Hani Trehan, the casting director, called me in, and I had an opportunity to meet with the likes of Majid Majidi and have a small conversation with him. And after that, it was really not much of a decision to make for me because I'm a huge fan of cinema itself. I watch a lot of cinema. I have been a delegate at film festivals, at this very festival for 2 years. And I'm absolutely a huge admirer of his work and his his films. So for me, it really wasn't much of a decision to make. I just want to be part of good films. It's not a very calculated or thought out decision process where I decide that I should do this kind of a film to be marketable or to be accessible to a certain kind of audience. It's not much of a sort of calculated move. It's just instinctive, and it's an honor. So honestly, it's a no-brainer for me.
Good afternoon, sir. Hi, good afternoon, sir. My name is Divya. I'm from Open Magazine in Mumbai. Congratulations to the entire team on a lovely film. I'd like to ask you, what was your thought behind your female protagonist, Tara, when you were putting her down on paper, on script? Because on film, she came across as, number one, a major victim of circumstances and someone who has to constantly compromise with the conflicts that she's dealing with instead of somebody who is an empowered woman. I understand that it's easy to portray a woman who's coming out successfully against all odds, and somebody like Tara is probably a more realistic version of what we see in today's young poverty-stricken sort of Mumbai or urban space. So I'd like you to tell me, how did you want to portray your female protagonist, and was that vision did it come together in the film in the end?
من همیشه به هر حال گفتم موضوعاتم رو و قصه هام رو از تو خود جامعه و دل مردم میگیرم.
As I mentioned before, I take the story and also the subjects through the society and through the people.
و خب سفرهای خیلی زیادی من به هند داشتم و مدت زیادی رو در هند بودم.
I had traveled many times to India and so studied actually and so worked on India and different subjects and so made evaluation.
و در واقع میشه گفتش که الان شاید من بمبئی رو بهتر از خود کسایی که تو بمبئی زندگی میکنن میشناسم به جهت لوکیشن و فضاها.
Even I can confess that maybe I know Mumbai with regard to the locations and the content even better than those who live over there.
بعضی وقتا لوکیشن هایی که میبردم فیلم بردارم میگفت اینجا رو کجا پیدا کردی؟ من 20 سال بمبئی زندگی میکنم هنوز اینجا رو ندیدم.
Sometimes it happened actually that even the people from the production or they say how you have find this place. So even for example we have been here for 20 years and for the first time we see this place in location actually in Mumbai.
بنابراین وضعیت در واقع جامعه در واقع زنها خب همیشه در همه جوامع به هر حال زنها آسیب پذیرتر هستن و کودکان و زنها خب به هر حال خیلی آسیب پذیر هستن. بخصوص تو جوامعی که به هر حال رشد جمعیت زیاده و مسائل در واقع اجتماعی اقتصادی وجود داره خب این آسیب پذیری بیشتر میشه.
So we can say that in countries with big population it's more common to happen for the children and also for the women to have more social problems and so to be disturbed actually more easily with regard to the other people.
و متاسفانه خب این جمعیتی که به هر حال آسیب پذیر هستن کسی هستن که خب خیلی هم صداشون به جایی نمیرسه و من تصاویری رو به هر حال دیدم از دخترها و زنهایی که خب در فضای بسیار سختی هم کار میکردن هم متاسفانه تن فروشی میکردن و خب خیلی فضای بسیار تکون دهنده بود برای من.
Even I saw some visions, very difficult circumstances for the women, for the kids that exploring very difficult situation in life, and they are the facts. And to organize some women in the society which has been sacrificed because of the situation that they have explored.
ولی به هر حال از اونجایی که امید به زندگی باید همیشه وجود داشته باشه و قهرمان قصه من میشه دوست دارم که تسلیم شرایط موجود باشن. برای ارتقا و برای رشد باید تلاش بکنن و مبارزه بکنن و اون ارزش‌های وجودی خودشون رو کشف بکنن.
But at the same time my heroes in the film they fight for their life. So hope is very important and so they tried for the best achievements, for the hope in the life.
به هر حال این فیلم تلاشی بود بلکه گوشه‌ای از مشکلات در واقع جامعه زن‌ها اینجا هستن رو بشه تصویر کنه. یه بخشی از این مسائل رو سعی کردم که به هر حال دوربینم خیلی واقعیانه و صادقانه بتونه بهش نزدیک بشه و زبان در واقع گویای اونها باشه.
So I tried actually in a real way and so to show the kind of problems that some people may experience and so my camera showed just part of it in a very honorable way.
Sir, Majid sir, I am Brisbane Chaturvedi, BBC from Indore, Delhi Agnivan. I want to ask you one question. You are making the not films, but you are making creating the films. You choose the best subject always. So I have seen your all the films, Majid sir. So how you put the things in the society and the audience is a creation, not a maker of a film in the world cinema.
برای همونجوری که گفتم من قبل از یعنی تا فضا برام ملموس نشه، تا شخصیت ها آدم ها برای من واقعی نشه، خب نمیتونم حتی بنویسم. بنابراین سعی میکنم که بیشتر به شخصیت ها نزدیک بشم، به جامعه، به اون قصه‌ای که میخوام، به موضوعی که میخوام بپردازم خیلی نزدیک بشم.
So, as you have seen in my films, even I cannot start writing till I have a clarity about the characters, about the story, about the circumstances. So I should be very close to that subjects and then start even writing.
و وقتی که به هر حال به موضوع خیلی نزدیک میشم، حسش میکنم، یگانه میشم، اون یگانگی و اون حس رو کاملا میارم توی ساختار و توی سناریو و توی
When I'm so close to the subject, when I can feel it, and so I can experience it personally, so I put it in the story, and so it is the slide.
Hi,
From PTI.
Shubha from PTI. I have two questions. First, from the makers of the producers, the question is, how did this collaboration happen, and how did Mr. Majidi came on board and the whole project was decided? Over here.
Hi. Hi. So we've of course all been great fans of his work and been watching his cinema. So we watched a lot of world cinema, and we watched Children of Heaven, which is I think one of everyone's favorites. And we said we want to work with him someday, and that someday actually happened. So we actually that's what I was talking yesterday. We actually chased him for quite a few years, and I was just telling he actually called us to different parts of the world to meet him, to just maybe know that if we really want to make a film with him, if we are serious filmmakers. And one of the locations was Iffy in Goa, like 3 years back. So we had a lot of discussions, and he had some ideas, and that's how it all came about.
And my second question is with the actors over here. Yeah. So the question is, when you're working with a team which has people like Mr. A.R. Rahman, Mr. Majidi, and Anil Mehta, and Vishal Bharadwaj in it, and it's for both of you, it's your first film. So was there any kind of pressure, or now when the film is about to release, expectations? What do you feel about the whole? How has been the journey in that way?
I don't think this is working. Is this working? It is? Okay. Yeah, there was a lot of pressure, but in a good sense, as in you don't get an opportunity like this every day, and most actors don't get a film like this in their entire career or their entire lifetime. So this was such a precious opportunity that, of course, there was a pressure of giving it your best with your heart and soul and every ounce of your energy and willpower that it took. And there was a fear that what if you can't deliver to what Mr. Majidi wants, which is, I think, a very normal pressure to have for every actor. But having said that, I have been a student of cinema in my college, and I knew the relevance of Majid Majidi. I have studied his films, I've written essays on his work, and never did I think that I would be a part of I would be acting in this movie one day. It's just surreal. So it was also, having said that, the team, Mr. Vishal Bharadwaj, Mr. A.R. Rahman, it's a dream team. Anil sir, of course, I've known Anil sir since I was a kid. So it was a dream team for me, definitely. And working with Shireen and Kishore and Z, and it was like a family. It was. So it was wonderful.
Sir, मुझे भी बोलने दीजिए. Thank you. Hello, ma'am. Yes, there was. It is an incredible team to be working with, but I do feel that Mr. Majidi has such strong leadership qualities that everyone that works with him essentially works under him and for him. So I don't think anyone brought their seniority to this film, but they did bring all the experience with them, which was only incredibly empowering in the sense that there was so much to learn from these wonderful people that you mentioned. We of course didn't have a lot of meetings with Rahman sir, but yes, working with Vishal sir, speaking his dialogue,
and with Anil sir and such wonderful people that we had on the team. We also had some brilliant technicians working on this film, but we were all working in unison to satisfy his vision. So it was, I don't think anyone intimidated anyone on the set. It was just wonderful. It was a lot of teamwork.
Hello, sir. Hello. Sir, I am from...
Hi, Mr. Majidi, this is Faridoon from Bollywood. Sir, excellent film. It was really, really moving. Wonderful performances by everyone. My question to you is that what was your brief to Mr. Anil Mehta for the camera work? Because I think he's done exceptional work, especially the chase sequences. I think they are superbly done. And so what is the importance of lighting as far as you are concerned?
خب ما تمام لوکیشن های فیلم رو از قبل خب به هر حال انتخاب کرده بودیم و کل گروه برای بازبینی لوکیشن ها که می رفتیم طراحی همه صحنه ها رو قبل از فیلم برداری با گروه می رفتیم و در واقع طراحی فضا رو و دوربین رو در فضا انجام میدادیم.
So we visited the locations well in advance with all the crew. It was the schedule that we based on we visited all the locations with the team before, and so even before starting the shooting, so we designed and also thinking how to put the camera and to organize it. So with this knowledge actually we organized the shooting and the sequences.
در واقع ببینید لوکیشن در فیلم های من ما کار میکنم به هر حال یک کاراکتر داره و در واقع یک شخصیت داره. همینجوری لوکیشن انتخاب نمیشه، در واقع شکل توریستی نداره. لوکیشن خودش یک جوری توی فیلم حضور کاراکتری داره در فیلم.
As you have seen in all my films, locations have characters as well. So it means that we have tried to work on them, and so it's and found a character even for the locations that we are using.
به طور مثال مثلا همین افتتاحیه فیلم، اوپنینگ فیلم، اگه نگاه کنیم به هر حال یک لانچات در شهر هستش و در واقع دوربین میاد پایین و ما میریم زیر پوسته شهر. پوسته آدمایی که دیده نمیشن، آدمایی که در واقع زیر زمین هستن، زیر پوسته شهر هستن و قصه ما قراره که داستانی رو روایت کنیم که آدمایی که دیده نمیشن.
So as you have seen by the opening of the film, so we have a kind of exploring the city, and then by chasing the camera, we are coming to see the people under the skin of the city. And so those that they have not a chance to be seen, and so we have tried to find them. So even for finding this location with Anil, we try to find the best place. Even for that sequence, when with Anil we referred to visit the place, it was very complicated. It took 3 days logistically to support that in order to create that circumstances. Even for the lighting, so we try to have the real feeling of the set, the real feeling of the sequence, and then by thinking how to manage, it happened. And as you see, Anil has done his best, and so he was really wonderful.
Hello. Hello. I am representing the Mangalam group from Kerala and Goa Malayali Daily from Kerala. Sir A.R. Rahman was associating with you the last film also, this film also. Considering the earlier film was not nothing related with the Indian sequences. Now this is totally Bombay. how the communication, because music has a universal language. How is the communication possible between Rahman Saab and yourself? Can you just disclose?
As I have told before, Rahman is a very special person.
کلا آدمای هنرمند بزرگ در حال ویژگی‌های خوبی دارن که خودشون رو خیلی خوب میتونن آماده کنن.
Big artists, they have very specific characters that they can adjust themselves within even new circumstances.
و رحمان به نظرم واقعا خب توانایی خیلی زیادی داره. برای همین واسه ویژه رحمان
And as you know, Rahman is really well talented, and this is the reason that now we have A.R. Rahman as a very famous and well-known person.
بزرگترین ویژگی به نظر رحمان اینه که خیلی انعطاف پذیره. مثلا خیلی وقتا بود کارهای زیادی می‌کرد و می‌گفتن من اصلا اینا خوب نیست.
One of the good points about Rahman is he is very flexible. Sometimes it happens, for example, that we sit together, he has done something, some scores, and I said, no, I don't like them. So, for example, we should do something new.
این خیلی اتفاق خوبیه. بتونه آدم با یه کسی که کار می‌کنه به راحتی بتونه اصلاح انتقاد کنه بدون احساس نشده و دنبال بهترین شدن بریم و بارها و بارها ما با رحمان صحبت کردیم، بارها اپیزودهای مختلف کرد و می‌خواست که می‌خواستیم در نمی‌اومد ولی او از تلاش وای نمی‌ایستاد و دوباره این کار جلوتر برامون می‌رفت.
It's a very good feeling that when, for example, someone criticizes you, you can accept. And so listen to, even, for example, not to complain, but think about what they are saying, and so try to understand each other. So it happened, and so somehow it was a kind of discovery each other's feeling.
رحمان یه انعطاف رو داشت که هر وقت که می‌اومد میگفت اگه خوبیست اوکی الان یه شیوه دیگه‌ای رو می‌بینیم و این انعطافه به نظر من در رحمان فوق‌العاده است که به کارگردان این جسارت رو میده که خیلی دنبال بهتر و بهتر شدن.
So definitely through such an interesting process and through such a mutual understanding, so we can achieve the best. And so even when we have each other's expectation, so we try to target to reach the target, and so in the best way. The only problem it was that we should work with Rahman at nights, from night till morning. It was the biggest challenge with Rahman.
Okay.
When I had to sleep, now Rahman asked, okay, come and listen. So maybe he wants, in these cases, actually, to do what he wants. So take the advantage of the situation. It was a wonderful collaboration, and I really appreciate him for all the efforts he made.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Sujoy Kuti, producer, Z Studios, would like to speak.
Hi. Thank you so much for coming here. It is a great experience, and Z Network completes 25 years. We are in our 25th year, and we go by the line of extraordinary together. And what you see in Beyond the Clouds is extraordinary together with Majidi sir, A.R. Rahman, Vishal Bharadwaj, Anil Mehta, and the lead cast. That is extraordinary together. So that's what we would want to create. We would try and create content which is relevant, which talks about today, which people love it, people like to see it, and getting legends together across the globe, working together. That's what we want to see, and yesterday's opening ceremony was brilliant. People really appreciated you're here in full strength, and more power to such movies, and we would work to making such great movies together. Thanks.
Please.
My question is to Majid sir. Sir, a lot of younger generation of Indian filmmakers have grown up watching your films of other Iranian filmmakers like Abbas Kiarostami and others, and a lot of their style reflects in their work. So, firstly, how does it feel to have inspired such a lot of younger filmmakers in India? And in turn, who were the filmmakers who inspired you while you were becoming a filmmaker in the early days?
به هر حال من که گفتم سینمای ایران سینما ساتیفیکای و خیلی دوستش دارم و به هر حال نوع نگاه ساتیفیکای برای من همیشه خیلی بزرگ بوده و خیلی محترم بوده. همچنین سینما نوروزیست ایتالیایی خب خیلی دوستش دارم. همچنین سینما کلاسیک آمریکایی. به هر حال دوره کردم رفتاری بوده مختلف ولی فیلمسازی که مورد علاقه من در همین دوره هست سعی بوده که خیلی جاش خالی در فضای سینما.
As I had mentioned before, Jitrai has been my legend, and so actually I like different style, classic style of American cinema, even actually some specific style of Italian cinema, but it was always Jitrai has been my dream, and so missing him so much in the style of him in Indian cinema. And
خیلی دوست داشتم من خیلی جاها که میرم تو فضاها تو جاهای مختلف جوانایی که روبرو میشن و احساسشون میکنم خیلی ها میگن که بعدا ما با سینماشون علاقه هم بسیار حس زیباییه و در این هم مسئولیت دار.
And it's a very wonderful feeling that when the young generation say actually about my cinema, but at the same time it's a very heavy responsibility for me.
ولی خب بعضی وقتا بعضی از فیلمسازایی میرن حالا اسم میبرن یه فیلمساز خیلی بزرگ که کار کامرشال میکنه کارهای خیلی نمای تجاری بزرگ است بعد به من گفتش که من وقتی بچه ها سینما دیدم عاشق بچه ها سینما شدم و اصلا به خاطر اومدم تو سینما بعد گفتم تو چرا رفتی این فیلم های ساختی چرا اینجوری هست نشد که برای اینکه برای ساختن این فیلم مثل بچه ها سینما نتونستم بودجه بگیرم یه نکته برای خیلی مهم میتونه باشه.
Yeah, it's a very important experience that once happened that one of the commercial filmmakers asked me talk about my cinema, and he said actually I love Children of Heaven. I said if you love Children of Heaven, why you are making such a commercial films? And he said honestly saying I could not be provided with the relevant budget for a cinema style like Children of Heaven, which is a fact.
We are already working. He's shooting his next film in India. So it was a great experience, lot of learning for us, and it will be an honor to work with him again.
Please, not out of turn. Sanjay Ram, please.
Sorry. My question is actually to both the actors and the producers. This, for all of you actually, hi here. This actually marks all of yours, in a sense, international foray. Is it from a production point of view, is it a conscious decision for Nama Pictures and Z Studios to be producing international content? And from an actor's from both you actors, is it a conscious decision to sort of choose this sort of content moving forward? And is that what we can expect from both of you?
Hi. See, from a Z perspective, we are globally available. Okay, we are a network which is across 175 countries and in multiple languages. Okay, not only in Hindi but all the regional languages that are there, we are available across the globe. So from a content perspective, this is the next step of making movies which are not only in India but going up abroad, or basing movies which are started abroad. So it is a normal gradual process, and which is something that we will focus on going ahead also. This is the first step towards it. We have our plans in place. We will move ahead in that direction going ahead.
So about the actors, I think when it comes to getting a chance to work with Majidi sir, it's like Ishan said, it's a no-brainer. It's not something you sit and think about that should I do this, or how will it reflect on my graph, or should I go for a Bollywood movie? If you're a lover of cinema, and if you're passionate about being an artist, being an actor, I think it's a no-brainer, because what he brings out, like all his previous films that I've seen, the performances are just beautiful. You don't feel like there's a camera, even on children, because they're so natural. And so to work with somebody who brings out that in anybody is a blessing. So calculated move or no is completely out of the question. It's a yes.
Shall I answer, ma'am? Thank you. No one wants me to speak. Thanks for holding my helmet, first of all. I think it is a wonderful thing that we are in a time where such collaborations are possible and are happening. And so I, from an actor's perspective, would be honored to be part of anything that I feel is relevant content, and that I can connect with emotionally, and that I can contribute something to, and that I would be so lucky to be offered. So I would like not to limit myself to a certain kind of movie. As an actor, I'd be happy to explore as many avenues as I get the opportunity to.
So, yes, I mean, it is like he said, that it is a time of great collaborations, and yes, we do want to do this kind of cinema and more. While we want to do Indian films, but it's not something, we want to differentiate between. You just want to go with your gut and what you believe in. So that's what you want to do.
Congratulations, everybody. I'm Meenakshi from the Pioneer newspaper in Delhi. It was a wonderful film which we saw yesterday. My question is to Mr. Majidi. There is a very difficult process that you have followed in the film. The film is overtly very gloomy and negative, but you have a positivity attached to every character. And was it difficult to manage such a sequence all through the film? And also, if you can carry us through the last shot of the film in which Tara holds Chotu's hand and is in her own kind of space in the jail. So what kind of message was that supposed to give to us?
اوکی به هر حال قصه این فیلم در مورد برام که می‌بینیم که رستاخیز دو تا انسانه، دو تا آدمه، دو تا آدمی که در واقع در شرایط سختی هستن و از اونجایی که به هر حال همیشه من امید به آینده رو در واقع در قهرمان قصه‌ام دارم، در واقع اینا به یک رستگاری میرسن، از یک نقطه صفری شروع میشه و به یک رستگاری میرسن.
It's a very philosophical translation. So I'm thinking how to I'm thinking how to translate. He's saying actually it is the story of a brother and sister with a very, very difficult situation, and but at the same time, so we have a hope. You know, it's a kind of process that they should approach with all the challenges that they should face. But at the same time, they are trying and fight for the better situation in their life, which is the hope. And so. So in these difficult circumstances also they can be trained, and so they can also it's a kind of we can say difficult moments that you experience in your life, and in these very, very difficult moments they experience those things that they had never experienced before, like family, like the emotional moments. Amer have never experienced actually such a wonderful situation to be in a family. Now he is going to experience a real sense of family through another family that now we can say they are enemies in the other side, but at the same time it's a real sense of life and experience with, and actually to have a kind of family and to live with them.
همچنین تارا هیچ وقت شاید فرصت این رو پیدا نکرده که با یک برادرش رو بتونه به خوبی بزرگ کنه و به خوبی باهاش احساسش رو بگه، باهاش در واقع یک حس خواهرانه خودش رو به نوعی حس مادرانگی رو تجربه نکرده. حالا با چطور در واقع میخواد این حس رو کنه.
Even Tara never had the chance before to train Amer actually to have a kind of sister feeling, and so what he wants to dedicate to her brother, but with Choto she is trying to experience that kind of feelings.
Okay. Last question please.
My name is Rajesh from Kerala Kaumudi. My question is to Ms. Malavika Mohan. You have acted in some films earlier. What was the change you felt while working with a director like Majid Majidi? What you learned from him?
Hello. I mean, the process of filmmaking, I feel is the same whether it's in Malayalam, which I love doing. I've done 3 films in Malayalam, and I have had a great time in every film, and this one was amazing too. So the process as an actor is similar. You relate to the character that's given to you. But having said that, working with Majidi sir was just, it was a dream come true. It was an absolute honor, and I never thought I would get to work with him. So it was quite unbelievable. And the process was, it's brilliant how he makes you perform, how he makes you do certain scenes. And if you saw the film, you know most of my scenes were very emotionally heavy. I had to cry or scream, you know. It was very, very, very emotionally taxing. And it's not easy to get to that headspace as an actor, you know. So the process, how he takes you there, is just brilliant. And like I keep saying, there have been days where I've performed and I've come back to my room and I sit down and suddenly I'm like, I didn't know I had it in me as an actor to do that and to perform the way I just performed. And that's the magic that, you know, he weaves. He takes you to that space where you didn't know you could reach, and, you know, he makes you do things you didn't know you could do and which you haven't done before. And he just brings it out of you. So in that way, it was brilliant. It was extraordinary.
Thank you for the question answer session. Now there is a 2-minute photo opportunity. Friends from the media, please remain seated because there's another press conference which is Guests have already arrived.
Just he wants to just in.
من شاید به هر حال همچین فرصت جمعی که همه خبرنگارا و همه اهالی رسانه هند هستن رو شاید بعدها کمتر بشه این فرصت رو داشته باشم. یه مطلبی رو میخواستم با دوستان بگم.
So it may really happen in the future to have this opportunity that all we sit together from media and talk. So I want to draw your attention to one point.
اولا خب قبل از که حالا این صحبت هم بکنم چون ممکنه باز فرصت نشه، من باز از گروه هم میخوام تشکر بکنم از تهیه کننده، از و از زیر و همچنین همه گروه و بخصوص سازگاری خیلی خیلی با استعداد خوب ایشان و
First, I wanna appreciate my wonderful production company team, Z Studio, and my brilliant actors, Ishan and Malvika, and all my Indian crew that they supported me for such a wonderful collaboration.
از اینجا بخوام شروع بکنم که در واقع شما خیلی میتونید مؤثر باشید برای تغییر در سینمای بالیوود. نقش رسانه و نقش برای شما خیلی خیلی میتونه مهم باشه.
I want to start from here that your role as a kind of media to make new changes in the cinema style and even in Bollywood, your role is very important.
برام همینجا می‌بینیم که در این جایی که به هر حال صنعت هست مثل بالیوود، جای بزرگ، جوان‌ها خیلی شاید بروز ظهور خیلی چیزی نتونن داشته باشن و خیلی همیشه اون ایده‌ها و اون خلاقیتایی که دارن در زیر اون حجم بزرگ هالیوود له بشه و هیچ وقت این استعدادا رو رشد نکنه.
You know, in the countries that the cinema is like an industry, like India, so maybe the young generations they do not have the chances for innovation in order to express themselves because of the shadow of the industry.
به نظر من استعدادهای بسیار درخشانی در هند وجود داره در نزد بسیاری از این چیزایی که من دیدم. جوانای بسیار با استعداد در حوزه سینما وجود داره که باید به اینا کمک کرد که اینا در واقع بتونن وارد عرصه سینما بشن و ایده‌های بسیار جذاب و اونی که بتونه در واقع یه شکل جدیدتری به سینمای بالیوود بده. این شکل خیلی چیزی که من خیلی وقتا نمیفهمم اصلا سینما کجای زندگی مردم هستش و کجای جامعه هست.
Based on my personal experience, I found that in India we have brilliant talents, new talents that they do not have the chance, and so we should create a situation that they can express themselves and sometimes even make changes in the cinema because through some of the films I ask myself how they can, for example, understand it, which part of society or social problems in this film is, how they can be made.
اصلا این حرف من در این برای نیست که من مخالف در واقع جریان سینمای بالیوود باشم. سینمایی که مسیر خودش و راه خودش رو داره میره.
What I'm saying is that I'm not against the Bollywood cinema. That they have their own way and so they continue their way.
باید تو این سفر تو این راه چیزی که داره میره در واقع باید بتونه کمک بشه به سینماگرای جوان که بتونن یه خلاقیت جدیدتری وارد سینما کنن، چیزی که به نظر من تو سینمای هند واقعا مشهود نیست و این نوع سینمای حتی تجاری که بره به نظر من به بنبست خواهد رسید.
But during this journey also we should help the youngsters and so these brilliant talents to have the chance to work and also to express themselves, otherwise so it's a kind of dead end.
من روز با جلسه‌ای که با وزیرم داشتم و با ایشون صحبت کردم در مورد استعدادهای جوان، ایشون گفتن که ما اصلا بنیاد داریم و حتما حمایت میکنیم از جوان‌ها و سینمای نو، سینمایی که اندیشمند، سینمایی که در واقع بتونه رو پاش وایسه، ولی به هر حال مردمه که نهایتاً باید فیلم‌ها رو ببینن و حرف درستی هم هست.
Even today in my meeting with Minister Mrs. Irani, I even mentioned that it's really good to support this young generation, these new talents, and she said actually we have NFDC, and so we really support. We would like to make these movements, and but the point is also the people play a great role in this condition.
ولی میخوام بگم نقش رسانه هم خیلی مهمه.
So also I want to highlight the role of media as well, which is very, very important.
که از جوان‌ها و از آدمایی که استعداد کشف استعداد جدید رو اینها رو خوب پوش کنه، خوب معرفی کنه.
So it's your mission to discover these talents and so to introduce them to the cinema.
و در همه حوزه‌های من فکر می‌کنم این ظرفیت رو خیلی خیلی خوب داره.
Even in the other fields, I believe India has this capacity to be successful in all the fields.
نمونه‌اش رو مثلا خب من در حوزه‌های مختلف بازیگری واقعا دیدم به هر حال یه استعدادی مثل ایشان.
In my field, I found myself this capacity, like these brilliant talents, Malvika and Ishan, and even on the other fields, we have the best in India.
که استعداد درخشانی هستند و اینها حیفه که دیده نشن.
It's a pity that they cannot be seen and they cannot be discovered.
و از طرفی چیز دیگه که دوست داشتم بگم این که می‌بینم که اینقدر اینجا سرزمین قصه هاست توی ایران. این همه قصه هست و میگم خب این قصه ها چطور توی فیلم ها دیده نمیشه.
Also, I have mentioned as before also, India is the land of stories. Many, many wonderful subjects and stories, and I'm asking myself how they cannot, we make these stories in the films, and so put them in the films.
قصه هایی که میگم در واقع زندگی های مردم و خود مردم و جامعه.
These stories are the life of the people, and so the regular process of the life in India.
و این شما باید کمک کنید به سینمای در واقع مستقل سینمای جوان که بتونه کمک کنه و این اندیشه ها و این حسا رو بیاره توی سینما، این نگاه ها رو وارد سینما.
And it's your mission to help to create these circumstances for the talents to be introduced and so to be supported for this kind of innovation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The guests have come. Canada. Okay. You are part of the Canada? You just tell me how to pronounce this guy's name here. Atom Egoyan. Egoyan. Okay. So please change the nameplates. Nameplates.
They are changing.